Good morning, Muscatine. We are here at Muscatine Power and Water, and we are going to witness the signing for the Muscatine Power and Water Solar One signing. Be sure to keep watching.
Well, we're early, so this is a great way to get started. So I stole this opening, I admit, but even though it's snowy and cloudy outside, it's going to be sunny in here this morning with this contract signing. So thank you all so much for joining us today and coming out to celebrate this event. I'm very pleased to be here today to sign this power purchase agreement for MPW's 24 megawatt solar project dubbed Muscatine Solar One. Today marks an exciting step forward in MPW's Powering the Future initiative, and it serves as a major milestone in the Muscatine Solar One project. As part of MPW's strategic plan, we have made a clear priority to generate power in a more sustainable way, while maintaining the award-winning reliability that our customers have come to depend on, and while keeping our customers' rates low. Muscatine Solar One is a key piece in our Powering the Future plan, which includes ambitious sustainability goals, including reducing our carbon emissions from our generation fleet by at least 25% by 2024 and at least 65% by 2030. When Muscatine Solar One comes online in about 2025, it will more than double the amount of renewable energy in MPW's renewable portfolio. When combined with the output of South Fork Wind, it will make up nearly 12% of MPW's customers' electrical energy needs from these two resources. Today also marks a major milestone for the many great staff that have been working on this project at MPW. Planning for this project goes back years, and even the process to negotiate this power purchase agreement actually spans about 18 months. This has been quite possibly the most difficult time in history to negotiate a solar power purchase agreement with so many changes, and I commend our team and our developers team for continuing to persevere through the many ups and downs over the past year and a half. I won't try to name all the staff here, but many of them are with us today, and a very sincere thank you to all those that have worked so hard on this. As with many great community projects in Muscatine, it gets accomplished through great partnerships. MPW developed the Choose Green Muscatine business program to help our local customers achieve their sustainability goals, while also ensuring that the cost premiums associated with this project were allocated to those that chose to participate. We had to secure sizable commitments from some key customers before we could commit to executing this agreement today. And once again, Muscatine stepped up. We received strong support and commitments from Grain Processing Corporation, HNI Corporation, and Bayer. For decades, Muscatine has continued to benefit from having these great three companies operate here in Muscatine. And their support for the Solar One project now allows Muscatine to take a huge step forward in our renewable energy journey. The commitment by GPC, HNI, and Bayer are a symbol of their continued investment in Muscatine and a shared vision of a more sustainable future. And best of all, through their commitments to keeping this project moving forward, everybody in Muscatine, all of our customers, will have a chance to participate in this historic project. Next, I'd like to bring up Brendan Dillon, President of Nokomis Energy. Nokomis is our development partner on this project, and we're thrilled to be able to work with a partner that has such a strong track record and brings a true community focus to the projects they work on. Brendan, thank you.
Thank you, Gage.
And there you go.
Yeah, so we're very excited and proud to be a part of this project. I think this project exemplifies a lot of what we work hard at Nokomis to do, which is develop great partnerships and help communities deploy clean energy. And so I think Gage touched on a lot of those elements that this project exemplifies for us. But with the community stakeholders stepping up to support a project like this, it shows a long history that the Muscatine community has in supporting their utilities and be able to take that next step forward. And we're proud as Nokomis Energy to be a part of that. Thank you, Gage. Thank you, Doug, and the rest of the MPW team.
Thank you, sir. Next, I'd like to bring up the board chairperson for Muscatine Power and Water, Kevin Fields.
Well, good morning. I'm honored and privileged to be here representing.
Thanks.
Good morning. I'm honored and privileged to be here today representing the Board of Trustees for Muscatine Power and Water. Muscatine Power and Water is a municipal-owned, community-owned not-for-profit organization, and we've been supplying this community with reliable, cost-effective, and safe energy for over 100 years. This project is an example of how we work with our stakeholders to make improvements and advance for the entire community. It's been an honor to watch Gage and the team work through this project, and we appreciate your help in getting us to the final line with this agreement, and we look forward to when this comes online and serves the balance of the community. And it's great to see the public and private relationships and partnerships in this community, and this is a great example of that. So thank you, Gage.
Thank you. Thanks, Kevin. Next, I'd like to bring up Ron Zitzo, a Senior Vice President of Operations at Grain Processing Corporation. As we all know, GPC is a substantial customer and partner in this community, and their strong operation helps keep our electric and water rates for all of our customers low. Their very significant commitment to this project simply reaffirms their commitment to Muscatine in general and their commitment to a more sustainable future. Ron, thank you.
Thank you, Gage. I can tell you Grain Processing Corporation and Kent Corporation is very excited for the entire community for this project, MPW Solar One. This is a great thing for all of us, and I appreciate Gage and Muscatine Power and Water's opportunity for us to participate in this partnership, and we certainly look forward to breaking ground and starting up the first solar system for Muscatine. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Fred. Next, I'd like to bring up Lisa Rooney McDermott, Director of Corporate and Social Responsibility for H&I Corporation. H&I has been on a dedicated sustainability journey for many years, and we're excited to help bring a renewable energy project close to the home of their vast Muscatine operations. Lisa, thank you.
Good morning. I'm excited to be here on behalf of H&I and really excited for this project and what it means for the investment of the community, but also on behalf of H&I to achieve our sustainability goals. We feel like this is a really important step in continuing to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. So thank you to the MPW team and look forward to this continued partnership.
Next, I'd like to bring up Mike Waddell, Business Unit Leader of Plant Services and Controller for Bayer Muscatine. Bayer also has a very strong corporate culture of sustainability and has aggressive goals of their own to achieve in the coming years. And we're very happy to be a partner in achieving those goals. Mike, thank you.
Thank you. Well, I want to talk about one of the comments I received from our German colleagues. And he commented that it's great progress that MPW is willing to step into such a program as working to satisfy our sustainability needs. So thank you for all that, and our German company appreciates it too. So we see the benefits of definitely reducing our greenhouse gases locally. You know, this is another tool in our tool chest for sustainability. And lastly, we see this as being a real leadership position within Muscatine, and we appreciate all the hard work MPW has done. So thank you.
Well, we got the talking part done. So now it's time. We're actually going to sign this contract and the associated lease agreement live on air with the team here at Discover Muscatine. So I'd like to bring Brendan back up, and we'll get this thing executed. We'll bring him back up? Sure.
Make for a great picture. Doug, you want to step in as well? You're the honcho on this project. No.
Pretty weird signing the actual agreement.
You'll be married after this.
Yeah, and just so you know, this is not ceremonial. This is the actual agreement we're executing this morning, which is pretty exciting. And it took a tremendous amount of work, both with Nokomis and the MPW team, to get us to this point where this document was ready to go this morning. So it's pretty impressive. So thank you. All right, let's do it. 15th. It's official, Brendan.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I think that's all we have for today. We'd like to do some pictures with the partners if you're interested afterwards, but thank you all so much for joining us, and have a wonderful day.
Hello, Muscatine, and we are back. We just witnessed the signing, and we were going to talk more about it. I have Gage here, and I have Doug to give us all the details about the signing for the Muscatine Power and One Solar One signing and the future of what Muscatine is going to bring. Good morning.
Good morning.
So give us a little background on how all of this started.
Well, you know, this really started with strategy for MPW to really start to transition our power supply portfolio to one that's more sustainable. And as part of that strategy, we committed to investigating bringing more renewable energy into our portfolio. And so the planning for this project really goes back years, but the negotiation of this particular contract that we just signed has been about 1.5 years in the making. And it's been a very difficult journey. There's been a lot of changes in the solar industry over the past 1.5 years that have made getting this contract executed a challenge. So it was really neat to see us finally have a culmination of that and get to the point where we could execute it. And it was really a lot of fun to be able to execute that on your show. So thank you so much for having us.
Of course, and there was a bunch of people here today that you gave thanks to, and it's not just MPW, it was Muscatine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's going to go down in the history of this project is that sense of partnership, as we often have here in Muscatine. Most of the big things that happen in this community are done through those key partnerships, and this is no different. And we were able to really to move this project forward and to get to the point to execute this agreement, we needed some key commitments from some of our key customers to kind of anchor this project and know we had some certainty. And so we were able to secure commitments from Grain Processing Corporation, H&I Corporation, and Bayer Muscatine. All are key partners on this project and have committed to moving this project forward. And so it was really exciting to be able to bring them in also to celebrate this day. So.
I love it. I think this is a great opportunity and something completely new for Muscatine to experience. So tell us about the Solar One and what is coming to Muscatine.
Well, the project itself is called Muscatine Solar One, implying that there may be a Solar 2 down the road. But it's 24 megawatts, that's 24 million watts of power that will be produced down on the Grandview Avenue wellfield. And that property has a lot of restrictions for the farming, so it makes it an ideal location to put this facility on top of it, because it's a low utilization, or low. Right.
It's you know, not ideal farmland because you can't put any additives onto the land because we use it as a well field, and so it's just a perfect fit from that regard. We also own the property, which is helpful because that lowers the overall cost. But as Doug was saying, there's a lot of complications of having a project on top of a well field. We have an existing well operation there, and also some expansion of the well field in the future that we have to kind of plan to work around, which is kind of unique to this project also.
With that, with the well area, do you have to go through and like test soils and being able to see if like solar panels can actually adjust through that area then too?
Yeah, that's going to be part of the first phase of this project, where the developer, or the development pieces of it, there'll be some environmental studies done, some historical studies done on the site, as well as geological studies to see if it's what type of attachment they'll need for the solar panels into that subsoil. Make sure that it's suitable for the, it is suitable. It's all going to depend on the structure, how deep they have to go to make it rigid.
Oh my goodness, I had no idea.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, a lot of engineering, you know, that goes into these types of projects. Even though, you know, this type of project looks very kind of fixed, you know, once it's in place. But a lot of design that goes into that on the front end.
And how many years have you been from the start of let's come up with this to the finished project? How many years will this be?
Well,
approximately?
yeah, it's hard to say. Maybe 3, roughly. So we have committed to renewable energy in the past. We have, as part of our portfolio, South Fork Wind Farm. We have a similar agreement with that where we have a contract to buy the output of that wind farm. And I think that wind farm went into place in 2016.
Okay.
And so that makes up about 5.5% of our customers' energy needs every year since about 2017. And so this was the next phase in that. And so I think we really committed to seriously investigating this project sometime in 2019. And then it's been going through the process of developing an RFP, working with potential developers. And like I said, there's so many changes in the solar industry over this past year and a half. It's taken a lot longer than it maybe should have to get through.
Well, we also did have a little hiccup, COVID.
Yeah, right. There was something else that happened.
Something else that was really happening. So now let's go into, we're basically creating renewable energy, and talk to us a little bit about that and how this is going to increase for Muscatine.
Yeah, so actually, I don't know, have Doug maybe just talk about, so as part of our strategic plan, strategy 4 was powering the future. And that's been a key initiative for us since we rolled that strategic plan out in 2020. And it has several key parts associated with that, one of them being renewable energy, but there's a lot more to that as well.
I think, as we've always been, the reliable neighbor, we want to continue that. And reliability is at the top of that list of our 4 key pieces that we want to maintain. So we've got reliability, flexibility, with an eye on sustainability, and always watching out for costs. Try to maintain costs as low as we can while we make this transition to a more renewable, greener portfolio.
What I see behind me, powering the future, is that, that statement piece right there.
Yeah, so we're really, it's an exciting and challenging time. We're really on the cusp of a major transition in how we produce electric energy for the community of Muscatine. And so things are definitely changing. This is a key piece in that transition, and will help us achieve our sustainability goals that we have as part of that plan. So we have set goals to reduce our carbon emissions from our generation fleet by at least 25% by 2024. And at least 65% by 2030. So those are some aggressive targets, all while maintaining that award-winning reliability that Doug mentioned. It really has to take top billing. So everything else that we do has to ensure that we keep the system reliable and costs in check, because it's a big partners in this project. They're competing in their own market, in their own industry, and energy costs are a big part of their income statement. And so their ability to compete in their industry really is a function of their energy costs. And so we need to always make sure that those rates are where they need to be as well as we go through this.
And I'm looking at this and I'm seeing, we have the solar and the wind, and it's also, we're relying on Mother Nature then too.
Right.
Which Mother Nature right now is not our friend.
Right.
There's something outside that, what was it that you said before we started?
Well, I stole this, but when we kicked off this morning, we said it's snowy outside, but in this room today, it's going to be sunny with the signing of the solar contract. And so it was really neat to kind of have that contrast, at this time. And I think it's something we'll remember forever about this project, that we signed this major solar agreement in the middle of a snowstorm and a cloudy, overcast day. But that's something, Doug could probably talk a little more about too, is that as we go through this transition, that balance of the fact that these resources like wind and solar, they are intermittent. And so we have to be very careful about how we design our system to make sure that we accommodate that intermittency and keep the system stable. And so that's a big part of what Doug and his team are working on too.
It is. It's huge. Making this transition with the intermittent resources with wind and solar. These are a part of a portfolio. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. We need to be able to back up these intermittent resources and have a hedge on the market. So currently we have our existing assets are covering that need and doing it very well. By the way, we've got a whole group of dedicated people at Generation that are make sure that the lights are on and that we have a hedge against the market. And then we're looking at new assets as well beyond our existing assets, as we move ahead to try to make sure that we maintain the reliability that everybody's come to expect.
Yeah, and I think Doug mentioned the staff at our current power plant facility have been such an important part of this community over the past 100 years. When the community founded the municipal electric utility back in 1922, one of the first steps was to start working on building a power plant facility for the community. And so I think that went online in 24, maybe.
Right, 24.
So since 1924, there's been dedicated, talented, skilled staff down at that power plant facility serving the community of Muscatine. And so as we make this transition, obviously we've had to work through some changes in that power plant, the plans for the future of that power plant, and some of that's been difficult. But those staff remain as important as they've ever been as we go through this transition. And so the renewable energy is a piece of this plan, but also looking at replacement local resources is another piece of that plan, because to address that intermittency, we know we still need some local dispatchable resources, and so that team down there is going to continue to play an important role in the future.
I think that's incredible. I did not realize it was since 1924.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
There's been somebody at the helm 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, making sure the power's running.
Oh, that is incredible. And you were talking a little bit about H&I and Bayer's support. Can you go a little bit more into the depths of the partnerships that you built with them?
Yeah, do you want to talk a little bit, Doug, about the Choose Green Muscatine
Yeah,
business
the
program
Choose
itself?
Green, the Choose Green Muscatine business program is really a key piece to making this work, because the project itself comes at an additional expense to our normal cost to produce energy. So we have a lot of business partners that have sustainability goals, and to try to match their sustainability goals and our desire to increase the amount of new renewables, they're actually paying the difference between what it costs to make electricity and what it costs to make this energy with renewable resources. So without that, we would be sending that additional cost on to all the ratepayers, and assuming they all want it. But this is a great way to really pass that additional cost on to the folks that want that additional sustainability or those resources. So it's a really key piece, and without it, it would be very difficult to move ahead with this project. So it is great. It's great that we got that support from the community and our local industry and businesses. And there's still a piece of that open for sale. I've got my sales pitch on. We still have some of that open, and we have it's also open to our residential customers as well. So that opportunity to be involved in that project is there through our Choose Green Muscatine program.
Wow.
Yeah, so we really took a lot of care and thought into how to structure this program to give everybody the opportunity to participate if they want to help accomplish their goals on the large customer side through the business program, where they can make the commitment and sign on and get those attributes from the facility. But then all of our customers, as Doug was saying, can still participate through the regular Choose Green program. You can actually go on, residential and small commercial customers can go onto our website, choose your subscription level that you want, and it's a very low cost adder to do that. It gets processed, added to your bill, and now currently that energy comes from the wind farm, the South Fork Wind Farm, but going forward, once Solar One is in place, those customers will also receive the benefit from that local solar energy through that program. So we really thought that was an important way to structure this, that everybody has a chance to participate in this project. And I think it's also important to stress too that the fact that we're able to move forward was a function of those key partners committing to sign on. So their commitment now allows everybody in the community the opportunity to participate, which I think is really cool.
I love the Choose Green option. I think that's really neat. Not only is it just for the partnerships that you've built, but also bringing it into the Muscatine community, that this is a community event, something to celebrate. It's not just MPW, it's not just H&I, it is Muscatine in itself.
Right.
And you've had this is two major milestones for MPW. You had the Line 106, and now you have Solar One. And how do you feel that these are both helping within Muscatine?
Right, exactly. And again, it's part of that overall Power in the Future strategy. Adding that new 161 kV transmission line gives us more flexibility for the future. So as we talked about, our resource mix is changing, how we operate our facilities is changing. Was a really key part of this transition, and so that was in a lot of ways step one. And that was a major project in and of itself, about a $16 to $17 million investment in Muscatine. So it's great to have that piece done. Allows things like Muscatine Solar 1 to happen in the future. But a lot of activity. We got some very busy folks here at MPW, but making some really big things happen and things that are once in career type of opportunities and things that are going to impact the community and our customers in a positive way for decades to come. And so even though it's busy, it's also really exciting.
Yeah, your MPW staff is incredible. The amount of work, the amount of teamwork that you all put in together, it's just amazing to see every single time.
Yeah, I'm probably the luckiest person in Muscatine to have the team that we do. When I come even to an event like this, I'm just in awe of how hard the team has worked and how well they've put together an event like this. But of course, on the operations side, being able to work with the folks that are doing all that work behind the scenes, to get this contract into place, we're ready to have this event. It's impressive. We've got some really talented, dedicated folks, and they're a lot of fun to work with.
We're lucky that each individual utility, we've got communications, water, the electric side of it. There isn't any part of this project, or I think of any other project that we've done here at Power and Water, that doesn't just kind of cross in between each group. Every department has had a hand in this project and nearly every other project that we've worked on. We're really good about working together and sharing resources and knowledge to make sure things happen. So it's fun. It's a great team to work with.
Yeah, just an example of that. So we had a scheduled outage for one of our power plant units here in October, November. Other departments were able to volunteer some of their staff to go down and assist outage at the plant because we don't have as many staff down at the plant as we used to. We've really had to scale back. And so seeing that kind of partnership across department lines, across utility lines to come together to assist a power plant team was really cool. And I think it's just a culture that we are lucky enough to live with here.
That's awesome. Doug, for you, when it comes to what are the next steps here within maybe like the next 6 months? What is that planning process then?
Well, the next big step are the development piece, and it involves some of those geotech surveys, financing for the developer, which is a big key piece for them, as well as doing that environmental background, the permitting pieces all have to be in place, and then that takes us up to about 60 days, and then that continues to, that's when they'll start purchasing some of the major pieces of the modules that go into the project. We get down the road a little bit farther, and then we both sign a notice to proceed. Both sides of this contract sign a notice to proceed, and that's when they purchase the biggest item, when it's the generator step-up transformer. And that has about a 1.5 year lead time and really sets the time frame for the project. So
oh my.
We still have a lot of pieces to work through in this process. There's a lot of steps. Another big milestone for that notice to proceed is our ability to, or our authority to interconnect into the MISO system. There's a DPP process, but it's our ability to connect into the system. And until we get that green light, you really don't want to plunk down a bunch of money on the project. So a lot of phases yet to go, but this is a huge milestone in getting started down that road. So I'm excited about today. I'm glad Gage signed the PPA so we can get started. As he had mentioned, we got the talking part done. So now we get headed down the road of starting to build, and it's an exciting time, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Your signature was very important today. It was super
Yes,
important.
it was.
I think that's the first time on camera, so it was a little intimidating.
There's a milestone for you.
Yeah, right. There you go. But no, it was fun, and it was a great event, and being able to sit with Brendan from Nokomis, who's our development partner, and sign that contract live. And like we said, it was the actual agreement, and Doug's team did a great job of getting us the final ready to sign contract here this morning, so that it wasn't just ceremonial, it was the real deal. And so that's a pretty neat thing to do.
So there's no break. Now it's back to work.
Back to work. Yeah.
Right.
So, we do like to take these opportunities to stop and celebrate a
Good.
little, and like the ribbon cutting for the transmission line. It's important, because the team has worked really hard to get to those milestones, and they're big for the community. They're an important part of where we're headed as a utility and as a community, so it's important for all of us to celebrate. And we've been lucky to have the support of those community members. When we did the ribbon cutting and the show out at the substation, we had a huge crowd. Of course, the weather helped. It was a little bit better than today, but then again, to see these partners on this project come and celebrate with us today, that's a lot of fun. And they recognize the importance of these milestones. So it's neat to pause, take a minute, celebrate the success, and then back to work.
Yeah, and then in December, you have some updates for MPW that are happening too. So getting the app going and having all the new updates. So Erica was on a couple of weeks ago telling us all about that. So there's another milestone you get to celebrate in December.
Yeah, another major milestone, another one of those once-in-a-career probably types of projects. We're replacing our billing and customer information system. That software that we have now has been in place for 30-plus years, and it served us well. But it is time to evolve that system. And that whole team is just right in the thick of that project right now, going through implementation. But yeah, again, another positive thing for our customers when we roll that out, and we'll have another opportunity to celebrate here shortly.
You have a lot of celebrations this year. That is incredible. Well, congratulations on the signing and everything that MPW has been working hard on. And Doug, I hope to hear some updates throughout this project here, hopefully in the next 2025 goal?
Yeah, that's when we hope to have it actually producing energy. So it's, like as Doug was mentioning, all those development steps are still a long road ahead. We'd like to get this thing, plugged in tomorrow if we could, but a lot of those are really important steps to take. But yeah, now we've got that path laid out and the commitment to move forward.
And milestones to look forward to.
Great.
Well, congratulations.
So we'll come do a ribbon cutting at the site when we're ready to flip the switch here in 2025.
There we go. I love the flip the switch when you did that at the Line 106 too. That was neat.
Another example of some really talented staff down at the power plant. We have a machinist down there that, you have this idea, and then not only do they put it together, but it's just perfect. He made a replica of a wall switch that just looks identical, and it actually works. You can connect it to something to actually turn it on,
and it's not a small light switch either.
Right.
That was quite the light switch. Impressive. Well, congratulations today on your signing, and I look forward to hearing more about the milestones. Doug, I hope you have a smooth transition into these next 2 years of making this happen and all the development work.
Thank you. We're going to make it happen anyway.
Oh yeah. Just no bumps,
Just
just
what we do.
smooth. Smooth sailing from here, right?
We're going to get there.
Perfect. Well, thank you again, and congratulations. Muscatine, I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to check out MPW site on seeing all the new updates and being able to see how everything is working behind the scenes. Until then, stay happy and stay healthy. I will see you later.